Welcome to today's edition of What is True? A YouTube channel hosting debates about some of life's biggest mysteries and most important questions. The emphasis of these debates is on being completely fair to both sides, and on being very brief. I am your host, Russell Blake. Today's topic: is there a meaning of life? Is there some deeper significance to our lives than just what appears on the surface? Or are we just chance collections of atoms, living in a universe that lacks purpose or intent? As with all our debates, the arguments must be based on objective evidence, on logic, empirical data, and reason. It is outside our ground rules to base claims on faith-based statements such as, "The Bible says this," or, "The Quran says that." There are absolutely places for faith-based arguments. In fact, lots and lots of them. But not here. To debate the topic, we have here today, Arthur Smith and Janet Jones. Arguing that life has no inherent meaning is Arthur Smith. Arguing that there is a meaning of life is Janet Jones. Arthur, you say that life has no inherent meaning. Why?
Because the universe has no purpose. Everything that happens in the universe is just physics. It is nothing more than atoms interacting, following predictable laws. Physics produced the universe that we live in, and evolution is a physics-based process. Evolution is random and undirected. And all forms of life, including humans, are the product of evolution. Since we are the result of random processes, since we are an accident, and not the result of any design, there is no greater, transcendent meaning to our existence.
If it's all about evolution, and if evolution is all about survival of genes, then wouldn't one be able to say that the purpose of life is reproduction?
That depends on what you mean by the word purpose. Yes, it is true that life has no higher purpose than to perpetuate the survival of DNA. However, by the word purpose, rather, the life forms that exist do so because their ancestors happen to have the characteristics that allowed reproduction, thus enabling the genes to survive. The life forms that did not have descendants were simply not lucky enough to have the traits needed to survive and reproduce. It is just chance, not any grand plan.
What about things like love, or having children? Don't people find meaning through these, and other things?
Of course they do. It might make a person feel good, or satisfied, to love, or have children, or create something beautiful, or to sacrifice oneself to save another. But that doesn't mean that there is some supernatural meaning that exists outside one's brain. Those things are just feelings, in the brain. In the big picture, as far as the universe is concerned, nothing that we do ultimately matters. We are here for the blink of an eye, the result of impersonal, irrational forces. Before we know it, our lives will be extinguished, as will the lives of everyone we know. We will be forgotten, and eventually the earth will die, and so will the sun. The idea of some greater meaning is just a human invention, something that is found in the human imagination, but not in external reality.
Arthur, that's an awfully dark picture you are painting.
On the contrary, it is an extremely bright, optimistic picture. For two reasons. First, it reinforces the importance of living one's life to the full, now. Life goes by fast, and it is extremely precious. There is nothing else, so make the most of life while you have it. Second, since we are not straitjacketed by some external meaning, we can find and choose meaning and satisfaction in whatever we want. That is incredibly liberating. You can choose to find meaning in love, or art, or altruism, or hedonism, or philanthropy, or gratitude, or by being the best ping pong player in the world.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We are not the ultimate free agents that you say we are. If, for instance, you decide that you will try to find meaning in crystal meth, you will be on a path that will lead to your destruction, not to your desired destination. We humans simply do not have the ability to impart meaning on whatever we want.
I'm not saying that one cannot make mistakes when creating meaning in one's life. I am merely saying that we have the ability to choose meaning, and this is incredibly liberating. You might say to yourself, I am here to care for orphan children. That is my purpose. And maybe you will get great satisfaction from that. That is awesome, but again, that is nothing that goes beyond your own preferences, beyond your own brain. There is no meaning that is inherent to the universe, or to human life in general.
Thank you, Arthur. Janet, it's your turn. You claim that in fact there is a meaning of life. Why?
It's just like pornography.